welcome to Geeks Round discusses Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season premiere of Season 2, Episode 201, entitled Shadows. I'm your host, Matt Moore, and we've got a decent panel today. A decent panel. I guess I'll survive with you guys. We'll start first with Deano Jackson. How you doing, Deano?
It is another beautiful day. This is a very strong premiere for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I really like this episode. Can't wait to get into it.
Awesome, awesome. And right next to him, we have Charles. How you doing, Charles?
Doing great. Yeah. The episode was good for the most part, but there were a few bits that I had that left me a bit confused. I'll get into that as the hangout progresses.
Perfect. And last but not least, we introduced him last because he's black. Isaiah
Last and most certainly least.
I'm the guy who has 3 hashtags. About to have 4. Oh yes. Hello everyone. Hello. I love this episode. I loved it more than the pilot of the first season episode. It was just I loved it because it was all around my favorite. But I'll get into that later as well.
Well, I don't entirely agree with that because, well, if you remember, when I first started watching Season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I didn't get into the show until the 5th episode. The premiere didn't really do it for me. So, pretty much at this point, anything would be better than that. For me, anyway.
Well, it's like, I mean, to be fair, it's like,
Yeah.
I think that with the main thing with the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. going forward is that they were in so much of a holding pattern until the events of the Winter Soldier.
Right.
That they were just kind of stuck, because there was a bunch of things they couldn't do. It's like, I mean, they couldn't mention Hydra at all, like not even a little bit. There wasn't really much they could do. So, given what they had to work with and what they had to hold off for before they could really get the ball rolling, I think they did a half decent job in the first season. It's like, I mean, they established all the characters and they established their relationships, and also I think it gave them more time to kind of let the audiences start getting a feel for everyone, particularly Agent Ward, particularly his betrayal that happened after the events of Winter Soldier. So I think when looked at as a whole, they did the best job they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that as the movies started coming out, like, for example, as Thor came out, they were able to react to that as basically... and that's when you ended up having the Asgardian episode. And, yeah, it really was Winter Soldier that kind of let the cat out of the bag and really pumped up the rest of the story.
Right, and it's like that when you get the movies of all types of you get the movies of all the Marvel heroes. S.H.I.E.L.D. is like the aftermath, like what happens next. It's like I like that a lot with the show itself. Like it gives you like an aftermath, what happens like outside that movie or outside that circle. So from what I look at from season 1, I think they did a very good job. And when the Winter Soldier hit, it made the show even more better. So they did a good job in my book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and season 2 is going to be particularly interesting because, unlike the first season, there are no major MCU movies that are kind of come out during the time frame where the show is on the air. It's like, I mean, right after we're talking finale for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is when we're going to be flocking to the movie theaters to see Avengers 2: The Age of Ultron. So I'm kind of curious as to how the show will lead into that, actually, because we've seen a lot of, like, as you were talking about, we've seen the aftermath from the movies come into play on the show, but I think it'd be interesting to see the events of what's going to happen in the movie built up on the show. It's like I'm kind of excited about that.
Same here.
That actually leads us directly into our first scene, as it were, because where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. leads possibly into movies later, but also leads into a new TV show, and that, of course, being Agent Carter. We actually see Agent Carter in action. There's not a lot of action, but we still see her in action, being the person or one of the people who create S.H.I.E.L.D., and it's kind of cool working with the Howling Commandos.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh, you go. Okay. I was saying it was really good. I love how they made a tribute to Captain America, the first movie, which I like personally, and I love seeing all the characters again, Dum Dum Dugan and everyone else is kicking ass, taking names, and oh man, I can't wait for Agent Carter.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be great, and I think that this scene kind of set the tone for it very, very well. So it's like, I mean, even before we've seen the pilot for it, or it's like, I'm not even sure if they filmed the fucking thing yet, but we already kind of get a sense of where they're going with it.
Yeah, and I gotta throw this out there. During that whole flashback with Agent Carter and Dum Dum Dugan and the Highland Commandos, do you guys recognize the actor that played that Hydra agent with the pair of glasses?
Yeah, he's the guy from Franklin and Bash.
And he's also from the Joss Whedon TV show Dollhouse. He was in it during
He was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't remember the actor's name, but yes, he is a part of the whole Whedon-verse of TV shows.
I was actually on set with him when I filmed my Franklin and Bash scene. He ended up doing a scene through the hallway, and we got to watch it.
Oh, no shit! Right on.
That's awesome. Quick question: this new villain kind of look familiar within the Marvel Universe bad guys? Like, for example, we saw at the end of Winter Soldier, like we got post-credit of the next bad guy who's going to be running Hydra. They look kind of like they're not the same by any means, but it was like. Are they playing a homage to it, or doing like a mirror type of characters? Like give you the setup for like, oh, we're gonna see more Hydra, and we're gonna see more Hydra in Avengers 2. So that gives you like a good setup. I was just wondering.
I don't know. He reminded me of Von Stryker, but
Strucker.
What's it? Strucker? I'm sorry, Von Strucker. But that might be because all white people look alike.
Yeah.
Well, at first, when it was still during the scene with Peggy Carter, I kind of suspected him of being a young Baron von Strucker, but then, of course, we find out that that may not be the case. So.
Well, they actually named him. His name is Dr.
Whitehall. Dr. Whitehall.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't know what he's a doctor in, but still.
Yeah. They don't actually reveal that kind of stuff until the end, but okay.
Yeah, but in any case, we also get to see the artifact, which ends up being the main point of most of this episode. And something that caught me when they brought out this artifact is that our good Nazi doctor said that it was the key to death itself, and that's what Red Skull had believed. My question is in the movies. So far, right now, the main bad guy we've only seen a couple times, and he worships death as a mate, and that of course.
Lady Death, yes.
Yes.
So I'm wondering whether this particular episode is going to lead into the movies with this particular artifact.
Ooh.
It could be. It was like, I mean, it'd be quite a while before that one. It was like, I mean, we're talking Avengers 3 level right there.
Yeah. But I like that though, because it can introduce more people into like more of like some of the backstory of Thanos. Because a lot of people who hasn't read comics don't know nothing about Thanos. So if he introduces his lover, well, quote unquote lover, Lady Death or some type of death way, we can introduce like, oh, okay, that makes his character more unique and more fleshed out, which he is. So I hope they go that route. I hope.
And what I'm wondering is if it is a literal key, like to a door to release Lady Death.
Ooh.
I wouldn't think so. It's like, I mean, I know that the show's tying into the movie. I don't think they would be tying it in that far ahead.
Right. It would be nice though. It would be really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I kind of think this artifact will probably remain Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing. It's like, I mean, there's a slight chance that it might personally have some repercussions onto, say, the very next Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Right.
And even that, I would doubt. But above that, no, I really don't see it.
Yeah, and also very quickly, this is like the artifact that actually puts like a real threat into it. Like we had the past artifacts like in the first season, like some of the artifacts were dangerous, but you didn't really get you didn't get the gist of it. You didn't get like the whole feel, like why is this weapon so powerful? Give me a good example. And then we see a good example of why this artifact is so dangerous. So I like how they went with this artifact approach.
Yeah. And let me see. Anything else on that beginning scene?
Dum Dum Dugan.
Okay.
And
then
the dude from Fresno.
Dude from Fresno.
The Asian guy with the headset. If you remember from the first Captain America movie, Dum Dum Dugan had said to him, like, "What, we're bringing in everybody?" It says, "I'm from Fresno, Ace." Yeah.
Who, Kenneth?
It's a very minor scene, but I
It's a good
remember it.
scene.
So
Awesome scene.
Do we have any this is like extremely wild speculation, but I don't think any of you are going to have an actual answer.
Yes,
But
it
just
is.
in case, do any of you have an idea what might be in that crate that Agent Carter didn't let them open?
I do.
Yeah, it looked like a blue alien to me.
Hey, it could be Atlantean or Kree.
Yeah, it looked like a Kree because like I actually, it's like after the first time first time I watched the episode, I just watched it to enjoy it. The second time, I was kind of picking up details.
Mm-hmm.
I paused it on that screen. It looked like a Kree. If it's not a Kree, it's like let me put it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. terms that people would know right now. The blue alien from which the serum was derived that saved the lives of both Skye and Agent Coulson.
Okay.
It's not yet confirmed that's a Kree, but that's a fucking Kree.
Oh, also the blood also brought back or made Garrett more like a super powered villain.
it basically made him go batshit crazy.
Which is nothing new.
But I'm going to have to watch that again because I don't remember that. The only crate that I really remember Agent Carter saying to the other Howling Commandos was the crate where that device had to do with death. That's the only thing I remember from that scene that involved an artifact. So yeah, I'm going to have to adopt the whole thing where I have to watch the episode more than once, which isn't really something that I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, so going from that scene, we go to the next scene, which is modern day.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see Xena and her amazing friends.
That's basically how I saw it.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, Xena! Yay! Sorry, I had a crush on her.
Yeah, and I got to ask one thing: where in the living hell is that physics breaking, like flying disc? What the hell happened to that?
It's called the chakram.
Yeah, you said it wrong.
I swear that thing has no sense of physics.
It has as much a sense of physics as Captain America's shield does.
See?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Kind of nailed it.
What I always had a problem with was the eardrum bursting yell of hers.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it was like a turn on.
You know.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
Yay. What? I have to shoot.
Oh, and then
Right, I'll admit it. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I didn't watch Xena. I know that's blasphemy, and this is the first time even Matt's hearing this, but I'm going to go ahead out with
It's almost worse. It's Charles Whedon.
No, I did not watch Hercules.
You're almost
No,
worse than him.
I watched Hercules. I watched
Okay.
Young Hercules.
In my own defense, back in those days, I was a gamer first, second, third, all the way to 45th. You understand that? If my TV was on, it's because my PlayStation was on. I did not watch TV. Ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I played games. Period. End of
Wow.
story.
You missed Xenon so bad. Wow. We'll wait for him later. Moving on.
So we have a trade going on. We have some bad guys talking to some supposed bad guys, and they're trying to make a deal. And the guy who is selling the intel doesn't seem to know much about SWAT. I worked in a warehouse that had boxes. This one said 10. The rest of them didn't. Therefore, this box must be better than the rest.
Well, he was a S.H.I.E.L.D. He was a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who just turned to the dark side, and he was trying to sell some goods to wherever people he was in contact with. So it was kind of interesting detail there. That it's like some S.H.I.E.L.D. operatives turned to the dark side, while some just went to unemployment. So it was kind of interesting too.
Well, yes. Like, I mean, for that, it kind of was what it was. I mean, it's like you've got this big, massive, worldwide organization, and all of a sudden turns belly up. So one day you're a government agent, and the next day you ain't shit. I guess some people felt they did what they had to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and he stole these top secret documents. And I kind of understand where he's going through. It's like, I mean, obviously, if this shit's level 10, and we know from the other movies, level 10 clearance is fucking Nick Fury level clearance.
Right.
You know, director level clearance. No one else ain't got this shit. So if it's something only the director himself knew what this shit was, it's obviously got to be something important because I think we saw, like in the movies, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, because we watched Winter Soldier together. You made a point of it. Captain America himself was what, level 8 or 9? I don't remember.
I don't think he was either. I think he might have been 7.
No, he was. You think so?
Well, we actually had this conversation.
Yeah.
I was just saying that, remember at the beginning of Season 1 where Agent Ward is going through his interview process and they asked, and they mentioned Coulson. It says he does know that, he said, I'm a level 6, I know that Agent Coulson died in the Battle of New York, and then Agent Coulson showed up and said, welcome to level 7. And I just think, I think Captain America is no higher than a level 6, because anyone who's level 7 or higher knows that Coulson is alive. Yeah. And Captain America
I actually
is
just looked it up.
not.
Captain America was level 8.
You're right. I'm looking at it too.
Okay.
And you are correct. You are correct, Charles, that anyone who is level 7 and higher, has the potential to know that Coulson is alive. But you also have to understand that you need more than just clearance for information. You also have to have a need to know.
And
Captain
trust.
America doesn't have such need to know.
Nick Fury trusts that he used information to use this for trust. So he went to Captain America. I mean, he does trust Captain America, but he doesn't really want to tell him the whole secret. So he trusts very few people.
And I know this from personal experience because I actually had a security clearance a very, very, very long time ago. But yeah, it's not only clearance, but it's also need to know. You have to have both to have any piece of information.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that, so okay.
And it's not like you reach level 8 and they go, oh, here's all the level 8 information that's out there.
Would be kind of cool.
Catch up.
But it's but my point here is the whole reason I brought this whole thing up is because obviously whatever was in this crate being level 10 clearance, it's some major shit. It's even fucking Maria Hill was only level 9.
Right.
So it was definitely worth something to someone.
Like $1 billion.
So that's why he was trying to sell this shit and make up some money, because not like S.H.I.E.L.D. was paying them bills no more. And trust me, the bills don't pay themselves.
Right. Can't make it rain in the clubs. Get oh man, how do we make it rain in the clubs now? Well, we gotta start selling some stuff now.
Yeah, or how do we buy lights that we can shine on ourselves when we're doing a fucking video show?
Hey, now, don't
maybe you should find some fucking level 10 documents and go sell that shit too.
Okay, I want to think about it too. Stop.
How about you make it rain some fucking lamps?
I wish I could make it rain with lamps, but I can't. I'm too broke to do that.
I was gonna say, as far as I know, Melinda May is 7, and I was just double checking that that appears to be the case. Although, you know what, she probably had her access raised during the break. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Well, since Coulson is the director now, I guess he could promote whoever the hell he wants.
Or he can just say, fuck the levels, and I'm going to tell who I want to tell.
Right.
Yeah, you could do that too.
So it's because if you're looking at what I'm looking at, it's this is only a list of confirmed levels that, or these levels the last time we checked, because it's seriously, I don't know if you're looking at the same thing I am, but it's listing Sky is only level 1, and that's obviously different now.
Yeah. That's actually what I'm looking at as well. I'm guessing the Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki.
Yep.
But okay, from there, so we have the trade-off, and then all of a sudden, Creel or whatever his freaking name is, I'm gonna call him Absorbing Man from now on.
Yeah, he's so awesome.
Yeah. Since he's Absorbing Man, we should probably go ahead and call him that.
Yeah, let's call him Absorbing Man. He was so cool. Oh man.
Yeah, that was one of the best parts of the whole episode. Yeah, I loved it.
Oh,
he
man.
just shows up and fucks everyone up and gets the fuck out of there.
And that's his job too. He was so cool in the comic books and everything else, because Absorbing Man, he has a long history with the Hulk, and he's testing the Hulk if he's strong or not. But oh man, I wish the Hulk was in this show.
Well, there's still hope.
No, there's not. But
let's
move on.
But I don't know.
You never know.
True. You could give me She-Hulk.
No, Isaiah is the one that never knows. Everyone else knows because we have logic and common sense.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hey now.
Isaiah doesn't
we
know.
have logic and
logic.
common sense. Isaiah has no sense, and
No.
Isaiah logic.
I have Isaiah.
Well, it's like it's like come on, it's like we had these conversations in the Game of Thrones discussions. I mean, they blatantly tell you who's responsible for Joffrey's murder. Still, Isaiah, you never know. You never
Exactly.
know.
You don't know. It's a big conspiracy. Like,
Yeah,
I can't trust nobody.
they actually fucking said it.
if
They
I
never think it's a goddamn
gun
conspiracy.
and fire it
Visited
heat, I
Isaiah.
could possibly hit Isaiah in the head. You never know.
Exactly. You see? And also Bob Stuckey. I can't know he was being up and up. You can't trust him. He's the new black guy. You can't trust him. You can't trust him. No.
Welcome back to Isaiah
No,
Logic. Kicks
trust.
around
You know who we
fans.
should trust is a black guy who's been around for a while, right, Isaiah?
Bingo. You can't trust the new black guy. Like, I don't trust him. So Uncle Ruckus over here. Like, no, I don't trust him.
Don't trust them new niggas over there.
I was going to say, slightly off topic, the guy who runs Zuckerberg recently has said anyone who does not publish their real name on Facebook is being dishonest. Isaiah, I notice your name is not on your lower. I noticed we don't have a lower third. According to Zuckerberg, that means we can't trust you.
Bingo. You can't trust me. That's right. You can't trust me.
Isaiah, that is not good, man. That's not good for you.
Oh, if you can't trust me, why am I still here? Why am I still here? Oh,
I
that's
want,
right.
I want it on record that he's agreeing to this. Okay.
You guys need me. I'm like Dark Knight.
He's like the unofficial mascot that nobody likes.
The Dark Knight. The Dark Pawn, maybe.
Hey, I'm the Geeks around at needs.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
So he ends up breaking up the pie. Of course, everybody's all like, "What the fuck just happened?
Right.
Oh, and what is this piece of metal here?" Which brings us to I want to talk about, because I think this is what confused Charles. I want to talk about Fitz.
Okay.
That was one of the things that confused me. But the
Really?
major thing actually happened right at the end of the episode.
All right. No one make fun of him because I know all of us got it, and I don't think you did.
I'm not making fun. I'm not making fun.
I'm not.
What didn't you get about that?
What, at the end?
No,
Yes.
Wait, you did want to go to the end right now, Matt?
I just want to, because I want to do Fitz in its own little encapsulation.
Well, I don't want to reveal anything about the end until we get to it. So if you want me to talk about Fitz, then yes.
We'll get back
Well, you're
to it.
talking about revealing. It's like I'm pretty sure our fans have already seen this episode.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
dude.
they got no
I know,
business
but are we
watching
doing
this.
And
Are we doing
nothing
this in
that
order?
he does, nothing that he does actually affects the overall story, and that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
It's just a personal
Well,
issue, though. It's like a personal.
The thing is that at first with not Simmons, but Fitz, I wasn't really that confused because Simmons was there and she was trying to help him, and I thought, well, I mean, I knew that something was going to happen to him after what happened at the end of season 1, so I knew that something like this was going to happen. I thought that it would be more severe, like maybe he'd still be in a coma, or maybe he would have lost his memory and he would know nobody in the whole team. But what happened was somewhat expected. But the thing that confused me about that, which also happened at the end of the episode, was minor in comparison to the other thing that happened.
Okay, so you do understand that Simmons was not in this episode, right?
At all.
I didn't get that until the end of the episode, but yes, I kind of suspected something was off, but I wasn't sure.
All right, that's good. All right, so in other words, he's just imagining her being there the entire freaking time.
Right.
Yeah.
And sorry, I thought that maybe that was what confused you. If that's not it, what was?
What
Which is
confused
so
me?
cool.
It
It's
was.
like, I just want to speak on this since we're talking about Fitz right quick. It's like, I love the fact that they took this character that was essentially comic relief in the first season, and you know, built off of this tragedy that happened to him to make him a really sympathetic and deeper character now because he's going through all these issues. And I absolutely love the reveal that this whole time Simmons wasn't there. I loved it. It's like, I did not see it coming at all, which is kind of unusual for me. So it's like that's probably one of the things I like most about it, simply because I didn't expect it. It kind of came out of nowhere for me, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It's like I really can't wait to see what they do with him now. It's like, and you know, if he's going to resolve his issues, and if so, how, and you know, and then the big question mark that comes from this. Okay, so we've now established that Simmons isn't here. Excellent. Where the fuck is she?
Well, she left.
Yeah, she left, but I was gonna say that I kind of figured something was going on, but I had no idea that it was that big. No clue. Really, to have figured out that that she wasn't there, you would have had to have some sort of, I don't know, sixth sense.
Yeah.
To have figured it out.
Yeah,
And
but
none of you got that joke. Okay, so it's a storyline from a movie by M. Night Shyamalan already happened.
yeah, I've seen it. I've seen Sixth Sense. We've all seen it, for God's sakes. All right, Fitz was pulling a Dexter. He saw, like, Dexter saw his adopted father, like, hey, Harry, hey. Fitz was doing the same thing, like, oh, hey. So this is comfort, really. And it's actually really sad, too. It's like and this actually happens to some people who have brain injuries. So it's really just a more impactful, and Deanna already said this too. It's like this character more interesting, more sympathetic. And I think it's gonna be really good, interesting stories we can pull from this too. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, but I won't. Was saying getting to the part that like really confused me about the episode actually involved Lucy Lawless.
Okay.
And I guess I'm gonna go ahead and.
Her name's Xena.
Yeah, Xena,
whatever. Yeah, the warrior princess that likes to throw a flying disc that completely defies physics.
So this Captain America.
Wait, I thought that was Captain America.
The thing that I thought was confusing is after they were trying to escape the military base, she had touched the device. It was basically killing her arm. They cut off her arm, which I thought was like weird. I thought they might have come up with another way to be able to save her, and then the wreck happened, and then you just see her there lying there expressionless. I'm like, is she alive? Is she dead? And if she is dead, then what was the point in bringing her in the first episode at all, if she wasn't going to be a recurring character throughout the season?
It's called a guest star. Cameo appearance.
I was under the impression
welcome to TV, Charles.
I was after all the articles that I had read, I was under the impression that she was going to be a recurring character throughout the entire season.
She might still be. I mean, this is a comic book universe.
Exactly.
However,
Patton Oswalt's character died. That didn't seem to stop him from showing up.
Matter of fact, her character can come back to the artifact. There you go.
Yeah, but that's because Patton Oswalt's character had a twin brother. So.
Anyway,
twin brother, my ass.
Okay. I have a good one, folks. I know I can solve Charles' thing. I know how I can solve it.
Let's solve it!
Anytime you want to start talking is okay.
All right, fine. Charles, you gotta remember this. You never know. Okay?
Oh, fuck you.
Shut up. Fuck off. Just fuck off. Thank you. Fuck right off.
Yeah.
Charles, just a little bit of a history lesson. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is OG Joss Whedon, had one extra credited member in the very first episode. That motherfucker was killed off like 20 minutes into the episode.
Yeah, and then another character, I remember this from later on. The first time her name appeared in the opening credits on the show was the episode that she died in.
Oh, Tara.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah. Like, Joss Whedon and his shows do not give a fuck.
They don't.
I don't know. It's just
Lawless's character is dead.
Yeah, it's like now where you're coming from, Charles, because like you're right. All the articles on the internet did make it seem like this is some kind of big deal. But to be fair to them, they didn't know what the plan was. It was not like they were saying over on their side, on the show side. It's like, yeah, we're gonna have Lucy on and a such and such character arc and whatnot. They never said that. It was everybody else that was making a big deal out of it because it's Lucy Lawless and she was gonna be on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
I really don't pay attention to all that. It's like I pay attention to some of the news, and you can't let what you hear affect what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you could say I'm a little disappointed that she was killed off because I think she would have been a badass character. But hearing these points of view, yeah, I guess I'll get over it.
Well, I think she overstayed her welcome. I mean, I love the character, I love her, but I can see where her character can be like a little bit of a big problem, though, a little bit of a small problem. And I'll explain this very quickly. Like Hunter, I like Hunter a lot because he was just an asshole, and her character kept him in line sometimes, but it was like you kind of holding his hand way too much. So I was kind of glad they kind of killed her off, so it can act like his character grow even more. It gives him a more bigger purpose to stay with Coulson.
Well, now that I'm hearing this kind of stuff, maybe her death was actually more important than I think. Because if I remember, the two new people that were brought in as full-blown cast members was the guy that survived the wreck, and then the black guy that talked to Triplet at the beginning of the episode. Shut up, Isaiah. I don't know his name, so I labeled him the black guy, okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know the other guy's name's Hunter, but you don't. Oh, whatever. I forgot. That's
I don't know.
Charles for
They
you.
never mentioned his name. But anyway, I just think that maybe Lucy Lawless...
Charles. Yeah, Isaiah has a point there. Isaiah, what is the black guy's name?
Mechanic. Boom.
See? You don't even fucking know it. You're getting on Charles's case. You don't even fucking.
Hey, at least I can.
Well,
I wish I put a name on it.
And his name is easy. You just actually said a part of it. You said his name Mechanic. His name is fucking Mac. What
Hey, Mechanic Mac.
the fuck is wrong with you?
It can be the same thing.
Oh
Mechanic
my
Mac.
God.
Mechanic Mac. You know
Are
what
you
it is?
fucking with me?
Oh, that's my job, though. That's my job.
Racism everywhere. Racism.
Oh my
Yeah, but Charles said that black guy. Like, dude, really? You could call him the mechanic or the bald guy, but no, he's called black.
Okay. All right, viewers. As executive producer at Geeks Around, I would like to officially say that we have 2 new spots opening up for contributors here on the show. If you're interested, please email us at geeksaround.com so I can get rid of these motherfuckers. Jesus.
But no, I was trying to say that with the death of Lucy Lawless's character, that maybe this is sort of like an event to sort of drive Hunter to actually be more dedicated to the whole mission that is S.H.I.E.L.D. instead of just being a soldier for hire.
I don't see it.
Really?
I don't see it.
I kind of think Charles has a point. Well, it's like,
It'd be cool, but he doesn't seem to have any sort of moral compass other than money.
Well, it changed now. It changed due to that factor.
Well, the thing is that even though he mostly only cared about making money, he had a sense of loyalty to Lucy Lawless's character.
Not really.
It was like a family, though. If you look at it closely, he cared about her.
I think they might have been friends, but I mean, just like a delivery driver is friends with the guy he delivers to. I mean, it's a working friendship. That's how I viewed it.
Okay, I have a good rebuttal behind it. It's not the other thing. So, okay, what if Hunter didn't feel no emotional connection to his teammates? He'd say, okay, let's go on with the mission. No, he said, screw that. He means he didn't care about the money. So he wanted to take her to a good medical facility because he wants her to live. He cared about her and his team so much more than the money. So he was willing to forego Coulson's mission. I don't think his mission was crazy enough, but he was willing to forego it and the money. So he does care for people. This might be people he's close to. But now things have changed now. He wants revenge. He wants just all out blood on his hands now due to what happened to that event.
I hope you're right. I truly hope you're right. I personally don't see it, but I definitely see where you're coming from now. Now, to move on from there, we have Coulson. Coulson is in the building.
Yeah.
Talks to Melinda May. Melinda May is all like, you need to check in with me, blah, blah, blah. Then that's when they identify the artifacts as being bad.
Right.
And
too.
when like all hands go on deck, and they have to get Sky to talk to Ward in what appears to be a rather good scene. I really liked that scene, actually.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. It was like watching Silence of the Lambs a little bit. Like, ooh, it's like Silence of the Lambs here.
Yeah. And I do have a little bit of speculation going on with what might be happening with Ward. Actually, I got 2 bits of speculation to give. Oh, I know, it's crazy. But
is there any chance in this particular case we can hold off? Because
well, no, I'm not gonna reveal the speculation right now. I'm just saying I have speculation.
Cool.
But
Okay,
yeah, I am saying that yes, that scene with Ward was probably one of my favorite moments in the entire episode. There was a few other episodes, but there was one other episode that I thought was just even better. and it was the scene with Absorbing Man in the glass prison.
Oh,
And when the military guy looked into the room, he was gone, and I knew that he was still there.
that was so stupid
That
too.
was obvious.
You know, like,
Yeah,
dude,
I
what's
knew he
with
was
glass?
still there, and then you could see his outline because he turned himself into glass. I'm like, ha! I called it.
Like, it was a government. Okay, I forgot the government's not that bright, but it's Absorbing Man. If he can absorb anything, he can absorb anything, even glass.
Well, here's my question. If he's able to absorb a material, does that mean that it's a part of him now, or does he have to touch it every time he wants to use it?
He has to touch it every
yes,
time.
every time he has to use it.
That's what.
So it's
later on.
So it's
or right around there, you end up seeing his various drawers. He has drawers just with various different materials in it.
It's like a drug to him.
Touch it again.
It's like a drug to him. It's like a getting high moment. Like, you know when a person takes like a large amount of cocaine, he becomes invincible. He becomes like a madman. That's what we see from the Absorbing Man, which I like a lot. They treat his absorbing powers like an addiction, like a drug. Like he can't get enough of it. So it was really cool that they got a good actor to play it and a really interesting path to take it from. So this was cool.
Yeah.
But in any case, so Melinda May is noticing what's going on there. You have Fitz trying to figure out what the metal is. And then you have Skye talking to Ward. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I had to back up in my memory. And that particular scene was actually a pretty strong scene because I think that Ward actually was being completely and totally honest with no selfish intentions.
Right.
Like, I think, I don't know, like, I truly believe he does want to help at this point.
Oh, he does. Well, for Skye, only for her. He doesn't really care about the rest.
Ward wants to help. It's just the rest of the S.H.I.E.L.D. team doesn't trust him yet.
Would you trust him?
I don't think they ever will.
Why would they?
I don't know. I just that goes into the field of my personal speculation with
that one guy
with the show. Yeah, that's gonna be coinciding with my speculation with Agent Ward. So I'm not gonna touch on that right now. Oh my God! Enough with the goddamn echo.
Anyways, back up to where Ward was. I like how they make Ward like his appearance change over time. But it was really interesting. You think he's a man who's broken, but no, he's the guy who actually opened his eyes up to more crazier things now. Because we know Ward is dangerous. He's still dangerous. They need Ward for more information on Hydra. But at the same time, you get to dive inside his mind a little bit more. He's more of his psyche. So I can see like crazy pre-Super Soldier, not Super Soldier, but pre-Winter Soldier like a mentality behind Ward. Like the good Winter Soldier, that is. Like he just awful things, but for the right reasons, like an anti-hero. So I can see that from him, and I really like this character now. I like him more better than I like him more here than season 1. Season 1, he was too plain. Here, he's more relaxed, he's more flexible, he's more, honestly, he's more likable.
Yeah, he really is. Possibly because for the first time, I don't think he's lying.
Yeah.
And he's not being a dick. Like
right.
the entire first season, he was being a dick to everyone, including Skye. Not as much to Skye, but still.
Right.
But, so this scene was actually really good. You kind of felt for the character. I'm wondering because everybody at the end of last season was pulling a Snape good or basically the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. of is Snape good or bad? Is Ward good or bad? People were saying that last season. They're like, well, maybe he's a triple agent or something like that. And obviously that didn't work out. But maybe it was that kind of pressure that made the writers go, you know what? Let's make Ward good again.
Yeah, make him a little bit like very gray though. Make him like Punisher, like gray, like because he's trying to be good, but at the same time, if you let him go, you know what he's capable of. He could be doing more crazier shit towards Coulson or anyone else. So I like how it's like it's morally gray. You can't really trust him, but you need his help. So I really like that a lot.
Yeah, it's like I think it has potential. It's like I'm actually kind of hoping they don't do the kind of standard path of redemption thing for him.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I think that's kind of overplayed and boring.
Yeah, he said he's looking for redemption at all. Like he knows what he's done. He's a full knowledge of it. He doesn't really feel sorry for it. He's willing to help Skye. So that was really big. that was like a big nose to the viewers that we're not going for the redemption route. He already knows what he's doing. He doesn't really give a fuck, but he does care for Scott. So that was like, you know.
As well, I think he knows at this point that if he doesn't, if he's not useful, then they're simply not going to keep him around, and he's not going to get to see anybody. I mean, Sky included.
Right.
It's like, I mean, if he had lied to him, then it's like, okay, it's like we got no fucking use for this guy. Throw him in a hole, throw away the key, and that's the end of that. We'll figure this shit out on our own.
But they couldn't really.
So it's like, I mean, I think he realizes that he has to provide useful information, or else.
Right.
And I don't know. It was kind of interesting right at the end. I mean, he's telling the truth. He's being completely honest. And then the last thing he says in that scene is, I really want to tell you about your father.
Ooh.
But he didn't end up hearing that last part.
Right.
And that's kind of interesting, because how the fuck does he know about her father?
Hey, he's been hanging around with Garrett so long, it's like he'll know anything if you think about it.
Well, that also leads me to a possible third speculation that I'll have at the wild speculation section.
Because you're not going to remember.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, you're really not.
I remember the first two.
Wow.
Wait, no.
And you've already forgotten the third.
It's your fault, Matt.
It's a real burden being right so often.
Yeah, it hurts sometimes.
Write this shit down. Let me see. So we end up with that scene. He reports to Coulson. Coulson saw the whole thing.
Right.
Let me see. What happens right after that?
Well, they track down. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Matt, but they tracked down the signal that Ward told him about the Hydra little pocket holes of the signals. However, there's a big issue behind it, because just a signal with like a pocket-sized hole that nobody doesn't look at, it jumps around between each other signal. So that's why they need to go more hands-on to finding where was the sources, how do we find Azori Man, and how do we stop them not getting to this object. So that's how it went down.
And that's when they somehow, and I never got how they did this, somehow figured out that the guy is targeting Talbot. And that's when my favorite scene actually happens.
Oh, yeah.
When Talbot ends up getting reverse pickpocketed and attacked by Absorbing Man. I think him actually having the ball and chain that we're used to seeing him have in the comics was pretty awesome, and it made me kind of squeal a little inside.
Same here. I have squealed. Like,
you squealed like a 16-year-old girl.
Yes, I did.
16-year-old girl, thank you very much, sir.
But I'm sorry.
At least I'm not a brony.
That's true.
I'm not gonna dignify that with a response.
Also,
you're not gonna dignify that with a denial either, are you? So,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Matt. But can we a little bit go back to the special effects behind the cell within Ward, and also the special effects with Azori Man? It was very top notch. If you think about it, like, wow, they did a lot of good things and a lot of imaginary things with Azori Man, because it was like took him a lot of time to think like, what can we do with him? What can we make him more realistic, but also dedicated to the comic books? And how he did it was very spot on.
Yeah, actually, one of my more favorite scenes in that was when he ends up getting like the little piece of wood, right, and he turns partially into wood. Because that scene in which he's breathing and it's wood, literally breathing, that was actually really good effects.
Yeah, no, it was like, damn, that's
awesome. But yeah, so he ends up attacking Talbot. Talbot tries to fight him, not so well.
Yeah. The really cool thing is like he even utilized his ball and chain, just like the comic books. He had his ball and chain.
Yeah.
That I thought was a huge nod to comic book fans who know Absorber Man, because that is kind of his signature thing.
Yeah, and man, he had so many great fights too. Oh.
Well, that's just it. Is he actually made a mistake in this, and I don't know if it's a mistake he's really going to make again. And that is every time we see him fighting, or even just fucking around with materials, he only does a partial transformation.
Right.
If he had done a full transformation, that stun gun he got hit with would have hit metal and just fell right off.
Well, actually, it would take him more time to absorb in, like, again, large quantity of his own body. Like, for a good example, if he was in the Grand Canyon, he can absorb like half that rock to become a full rock monster because he got that full quantity there. He only had some quantity just for like to maintain for the time being. We don't know how strong he is because in the comic books he's very strong. He can absorb a lot of things. Even his clothes could become the same color and shape, whatever. So it's kind of like a little like how powerful his character is, and also he could absorb that electricity too. But again, he could be the weaker version of Absorbing Man from the comic books, but it's still a nice one though.
I can see that. But yeah, that scene was pretty cool. That's when they ended up kidnapping Talbot, and then there was the scene where they're interrogating Talbot, and Talbot's a hard-headed motherfucker.
Yeah, but he's also a cool character too. He's like, man, he reminds me of Nathan Petrelli. All right, he is Nathan Petrelli. All right, he's playing the same thing as Nathan Petrelli. Hard-headed asshole.
Well, it's like, I mean, it's Talbot, so it's like, I mean, at least they're staying true to who he is from the comic books. It's like,
yeah,
because in the comic books,
the mustache, unfortunately.
yeah, unfortunately, because it does not look good on him.
no, this is a fun mustache.
It just looks so fucking weird.
You're right. But it was still cool though. He had really interesting scenes that he really does not like Coulson or his team because again he doesn't like S.H.I.E.L.D. and plus he thinks the government can do anything better than they can, which is not true at all.
And that's just it. Is in that scene, basically that entire scene is to bait him into giving them access to that warehouse. And that again was something that I did not predict that they were doing at the time. However, this being Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I should have.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is not the first time this has been their motive. I mean, they've done shit like this before. Basically, they have their plan, and then they have their real plan.
Right. But I think this plan was more concrete because Coulson, he thought about it all the way through. You know, Coulson's more serious, too. He's more like, yes, he knows what to do, and also he knows the risk. So he knows what he's playing. He's like playing poker with all his missions. Like, he's playing poker all the time. Like, he has that poker face completely like, yeah, okay. But you see the full plan in action, it'd be too late. So this Coulson here I like even more because he's clever. He's more clever. He's more of a mad genius a little bit of a mad genius, a little bit.
Well, one of the things that I like about Coulson, since we're on that, is that while he is not unintelligent himself, he's very strategic. He's very smart when it comes to those things. He is absolutely and totally willing to listen to his trusted lieutenants, especially me.
Yeah.
So if someone has a better plan, he does not have too much pride to listen.
Right. But I think he does have more of a trust issue now due to the whole what happened now in season 1. He feels like a little bit jaded a little bit because he doesn't. Yeah, in the first season he was more like a skipper on skipper. But when you see him now, he's just really edgy. He's very much more, you know, you can't really crack a smile without actually making fun of it. Like, you trying to make a smile? No, I'm just too sad to do that.
I think it's just, you know, the burden of being director. It's like, I mean,
right.
Last season Nick Fury put literally the weight of the world on this man's shoulders, and considering everything he went through last season, I think he's handling it pretty well. But at the same time, it's like we even saw in this episode, he had a lot of very, very tough decisions to make.
Right.
And so we, speaking of decisions, so now we get into the warehouse, which they infiltrate the warehouse. Nothing special there. Standard fare for like a Mission Impossible movie or whatever. But they get into the warehouse, and they start looking for the stuff, and when the alarm goes off, he has to make one of those hard decisions. He's all like, okay, do we go black, in other words, get the fuck out, or do we stick around and get a freaking Quinjet?
Yeah, which they desperately needed.
Well, in all honesty, they didn't really know they was looking for a Quinjet exactly. They said, should we go with the mission or should we go black or go darker?
I'm pretty sure they knew what the mission was. It was us that didn't know the mission. Yeah,
I know, but I'm just saying.
If they didn't, yeah, you're just saying something that doesn't make any sense. So.
Hey, now, at least it was a common answer and/or a question and/or a topic of the question. It was like,
yes, it's like while we as viewers weren't made aware of what their mission were, they kind of knew it. That's kind of how they were able to accomplish it.
Did
And
the mercenaries
I'm
know?
really getting annoyed when I have great jokes and you guys don't recognize them.
We know. We do that for fun.
Did you not hear me say if they had gone black, they would have never been able to go back?
We knew what that was.
Yeah, I heard you. I was ignoring you.
Yeah, I was knowing you too. So.
Yeah, because I mean.
Yeah, we already saw that
Yeah.
joke.
I'm a 33-year-old black man. Wow, I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, I said this
Not
before.
that's just it. Is it actually applies to the show? Fucker.
Wow. Now he's pulling Isaiah for sure.
Yeah, come on, Matt. Say you never know. You didn't want to.
So,
I'm sorry to interrupt you one last time, but Triplet was actually kind of cool too. He was really cool in this episode. And then
Yeah, it's like go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I can't believe that at no point did someone figure out, you know what, we should not touch this thing. Oh, and also Xena too. Xena should know this, just in case.
Oh
Yeah.
god, that was a joke right there.
And it was like she was getting attacked by Absorbing Man. He was beating her ass. She
Why
knew
the
this thing
fuck
had
did
to
she
be
open
paid.
the box in the first place?
Yeah, why would you open it in the first place?
Dude, I don't even know.
That was kinda stupid, too.
That is the part I'm actually confused about.
Yeah, me
It's like,
too.
okay, this is what you're looking for. That's what it says on the box.
Right.
Grab it and get the fuck out. You've got no reason to open it.
Why
It's
the
not
hell are you
gonna-
opening it?
It's going to make your life any easier. It's like,
Right.
what are you going to do? Open it and go like, yep, that's exactly this unknown thing that I had no idea what the fuck it was before and even have less idea now. Excellent. I know I've got the right box now. No,
Yeah, I'm
grab
so
that shit and get
confused.
out.
Or the reverse side of that, when she opens it, is like, how is she supposed to know that it isn't the wrong thing?
Right, but also here comes the funny part was like she was trying to use it as to defend herself. Like, oh, let's see why it makes it so dangerous. Really?
Well, she found out.
Right, it's like, really? Are you that stupid?
Her question was answered.
And how did Absorbing Man react to it?
He's back.
Fuck that shit, I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm going home. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You guys have fun with the killing brick. I'm gonna come back for it later when I'm in control of the situation.
Yeah, and I like how after he came back in later, it's like, after seeing what happened to her, he's like, nope, fuck this shit. Fuck a rubber glove. Rubber hand, bitches.
Yeah, that was so gangster.
Because, why? Because fuck this, that's why.
Right. He was smarter than them. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna use my hand. I'm gonna use
Yeah.
rubber.
I would have just taken Xena's entire arm holding that fucker.
That's what I was actually expecting him to do.
Yeah, use it, use it for fun time. You know what I mean?
Fuck off, Isaiah.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Wait. Did Isaiah just make a masturbation joke, or was that just in my head?
No, that's kind of what happened.
Okay. To make sure that Isaiah was thinking about masturbating with Xena's hands.
Hey, I thought of it a long time ago. Hey, I'm just saying.
Oh, God.
I like Xenon. Anyways, moving on from that.
You do realize
Yeah.
that hand was decomposing, right?
And your point is?
Hey,
Oh,
if she's still alive, that's not necrophilia.
Exactly.
Now,
You
she
see?
was dead, but
Hey, at least you can't
don't
get.
get too much into that.
At least you can't get her hand pregnant. Boom, boom.
what?
Drop the mic.
Nothing, never mind, we're moving on.
Oh, dear God.
Oh.
So yeah, they lost the fights. He ended up getting the Lego, the mystical Lego is I think what I'm going to think of it as for a little while.
Yeah, the mysterious leprosy-causing, like, super leprosy-causing Lego.
Yeah, then that car accident was kind of cool too. How you just changed the concrete and the car just did a massive barrel roll. Like, oh, that's so badass. That was cool. That's cool.
I actually have a problem with that. Anytime I see like them run into a barrier and that makes them do one of those flips,
Right.
that always pisses me off about TV shows and movies.
Yeah,
Cars don't do that unless there's a specific ramp made to make them do that.
right. But I mean, you can be fair. Like, his body was a little bit slanted, a little bit over like a ramp. But you could be. I agree with you on that part. I'm just saying.
I've seen some car accidents. You would be surprised what makes a car flip over like that. They use ramps to make sure that things like that can happen safely, but do they happen in regular car accidents? Oh, you bet your ass. You bet your ass.
No, it was also one last thing I have to point out. When we get to the action, Hunter survived. It was really
All
weird.
right, I just want to point out this is like the, would we say the 23rd or 24th one last thing that Isaiah has need to point out?
I don't know.
One last thing.
I've kind of lost count at this point. I was counting up until like 14 or so, and then I was like, fuck it.
Oh, wow. Fun for me. Anyway, I think, how did Hunter survive that car accident? It was like, he didn't wear a seatbelt, did he? No, he did not. He's like, how did he survive?
He survived because it was befitting to the plot. That he's a cast member.
We're having a conversation.
I was going to say, Charles.
Well, the SUV hit a man who had transformed his body to become concrete and flipped over, and we're asking about the realism of him surviving, of the guy in the car surviving, without wearing a safety belt.
Hey, I had to call Mythbusters.
Also, this is the same episode where we had a jet turn invisible. What else?
I mean, hey, I call Mythbusters. Yeah, I call Mythbusters. Like, hey, Mythbusters, can one person survive that type of accident? Are you serious? Yes.
Adam and Jamie would just go, you know what? Fuck that shit. We're not doing it. Yeah.
Yes, they will. They're gonna do it.
So, where were we? So yeah, they steal the Quinjet. The bad guys get what they were going for, and then we find out that Dr. Whitehall or whatever is still alive and has not aged today.
Yeah, I think in the comic books his name was like Commander Kraken or something like that. I don't remember.
That sounds so stupid.
I tried to look up Dr. Whitehall. Unfortunately, I got actual doctors.
Yes, I got actual doctors. Like, okay,
They should probably change their name.
Yeah.
At least now. All right. So, do we have anything that anyone else wants to talk about the story itself before we get into wild speculations? We are.
I just wanted to say it's like I really like the progression of the entire team in this season. I'm really liking the fact that we've gone from season 1. It's like, Sky trying to, prove herself as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, from what I just saw in the premiere here, where she's a very capable and very worthy agent supporting this team. I like that, that's no longer an issue because that storyline was kind of getting played out. I know we still have a lot to do with her, regarding her parentage, and I'm particularly based on what Ward said earlier on in the episode. It's obvious that we're going to get into more of that, and I'm cool with that. But I'm just glad we're over that hump of Sky trying to prove herself. She's right there with fucking Melinda May herself, and Melinda May's trusting her to be a valid teammate. I think that is incredible.
Yeah, it is. I know.
I think it's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
My question is, why didn't they have Melinda May training her in the first place?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Well, because Ward was specifically jockeying to do that to in his play to get closer to each member of the team for Hydra. That was something that was specifically explained last season.
Right.
Yes, but he wouldn't have, but he wouldn't have set up that assignment. It would have been Coulson who said, you know what, you should be the one who trains Melinda or Sky.
Yeah, but we've already established that Coulson's usually very open to the suggestions from his team. So if he's the first one that said, hey, I want to do this, Coulson would have said, okay, do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Besides, come on, season 1 Melinda May, take the time out of her schedule for Sky. She didn't even like Sky in the first season. It's like, did we watch the same first season?
Yeah, speaking of Sky,
she didn't even want her on the team in the first place.
See, I think that's exactly why she should have been the one to train her, is because of the fact that she wouldn't do something silly like fall in love with her.
Right.
Okay, you be the one to try to get Melinda May to do something that she doesn't want to do. I'll bring the flowers to your funeral. I will say something very, very nice about you, I swear. And can I have your hat?
Oh God.
Yes, you can have my Fitzgerald hat.
Now let me buried with him. Now Mac will have all his hats around him to be buried with him. Like, yes, I want all my hats, motherfucker, all of them.
This hat, however, is going with me in the coffin.
Or so you think.
Hey, I couldn't say it, but hey.
I ain't above grave, Robin.
So, all right, so let's do wild speculation. We're going to put some pressure on Charles. Charles is going to do a speculation.
No.
Then
Charles had 3 speculations. Yep. Okay.
Then Charles again.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Charles, you're first.
Go for it.
God, I hate you guys so much.
Come on, let's hear Mr. 3 wild speculations.
I managed to remember one of the speculation. It's when not cool, guys. Not cool.
Classic, Charles.
Charles, I am so sorry.
Can I get to my speculation before I forget it again?
I don't know. Can you?
Yeah.
All right. I will say this: is that during the scene where Skye and Ward were talking, and then she shut the thing off, and Ward was about to say your father and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that leads, since he knows about Skye's father, maybe Skye's father is involved with Hydra. I don't know if he's actually with them, but maybe he worked with them as a sort of like an interested third party kind of thing.
I can almost see where he came up with that particular theory. It's because if he was Hydra, that is probably why Ward would have known about him and not set anything up to this point.
Yeah.
It's a stretch, but I can kind of sort of see it.
Oh, and I just remembered the second speculation.
Oh, wait. Isaiah, your turn.
All right. My speculation is, since we're going to see Azori Man again in the future, we might see more of Hulk-like characters. Not big-time Hulk characters, but like someone who can be like leveled out in the TV version. Like, again, the leader, for example, he can be a little bit leveled out to be on the show because he is overpowering, but he's not overly overpowered like Abomination is. So we might see some more interesting Hulk-like villains, or any type of villains that we might see from other Marvel Cinematic Universe heroes universe. It is. So I can't wait for that to see more interesting and more badass villains to see.
Cool. All right, Charles, go for it.
Yes, my second speculation is that with Coulson being the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the new S.H.I.E.L.D., I have a feeling that he is probably one of the best S.H.I.E.L.D. agents ever, if not the best. And but I still think that he's not really up to task of being a director yet. And I think that somewhere further down the road in season 2, something's going to happen where he's going to make a bad call, and everybody on his team are going to question him, which is probably going to force him to step down, and someone else is going to take over as director, temporarily.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
think of your third one, Charles.
I haven't remembered that one yet.
Well, you can read it from the notes that I told you should write down. All right, what do you got, Deanno? And I do have a speculation, so don't think I'm not trying to get out of it.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's like, I have one completely batshit crazy wild speculation that I'm actually not going to say quite yet, because I want to wait until there's a little bit more evidence of it, because seriously, it's just right now, there's wild speculation, and then there's speculation. That's kind of where I'm at right now on that one.
Okay.
So it's like, what I'm actually going to say is more of a hope than a speculation. It's like, I would really like it if at least a few times Deathlock returned this season.
Oh, yes. Or Dum Dum Dugan. Well, he has been seen in comic books in modern day. He has not aged either. I said it.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, what? I proved everyone wrong? Oh, yay for me.
All right, Charles, what's your third speculation?
I take it back, I only had 2.
Oh, yeah, really, Charles? Really?
I don't remember what it was, man. Come on.
This city, man. Get out of here.
All right, and then in that case, I'm going to go into mine, and that is the code, the lettering, or whatever it is that Skye is actually studying right now, that Coulson ended up writing at the end of last season, and that we had seen before. I forgot where we had seen it previous to that. Maybe one of the movies. But I think that is actually going to turn into maybe a Marvel version of the anti-life equation. or like some sort of, to use a modern scientific vernacular, theory of everything type of situation. Like,
Or
where the equation itself can destroy or build.
or maybe you can turn people to mutants, but they can't use the word mutants. So, hey, that'd be really interesting.
Isaiah, are you a mutant?
Hey, I wish I was.
Yeah, he is a mutant there, Matt. His mutant power is the ability to not make any sense whatsoever, ever.
Hey, I got one word to actually piss on everybody else, so I'm good at that.
And thank you for proving my point. I have no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
Oh, really? When we say the word that everyone hates so much?
Go for it.
I know what you're gonna do.
So, I think at that point we're going to wrap everything up. Make sure to check out www.geeksofaround, youtube.com/geeksofaround. Check us out. Like, subscribe, all that other fun stuff. The more you like and subscribe, the more people end up seeing our stuff. So, and that helps everyone. And then you become one of the cool kids. All right. And for Geeks of the Round, this is Matt, and peace.